need 20% down or to have 6 months in the bank in savings in order to buy your first home or to buy a home? That's what we're going to be covering in this video. We're going to be taking a look into how much money you really need to buy a home. Now, there's a right way, there's a wrong way to plan to buy a home. Yeah, in a perfect world, would it be best for you to save 20% down, have 6 months in savings in the bank, and let's get ready to roll and buy a home? Of course, in a perfect world. But if you're like me, when it was time for me to buy a home, all I had was a down payment for the property, and that was it. Okay, but I'm happy that I took a leap and I went for it. Okay, but not everybody's gonna be like that. Okay, that's why it's gonna be up to you to decide and see what's gonna be the best option for you. Okay, because that's the only thing that we have in our power, is to make the decision and see if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. Would it be great for you to have 20% down, 6 months of savings in the bank, and be able to buy your home? Of course it would, right? But sometimes it doesn't work out just like that. Okay, so that's why I wanted to bring you this information in this video, because today we're going to be going over how much money do you really need to buy a home. All right, guys, so stick around because you're going to want to see this information. Okay, so you can get an idea of what the median home sales price is here in Victorville, California. Okay, so you can also take a look if you want to see what Apple Valley's medium home prices and Hesperia medium home prices in the chart. Okay, but we're going to be going over Victorville's medium home sales price. Okay, so the medium home sales price here in Victorville, California is $420,000. Okay, so that's your medium sales price. Now, if you take a look at the chart and you're going to see the entire MLS, that means other areas besides the high desert, and the medium sales price is $876,000. Imagine that. Imagine being able to afford a home at $876,000. That's going to take quite a bit to save for your down payment, your closing costs, and all the numbers that we're going to be going over in this video, right? I also want you to take a look at how many active listings there is in the high desert, okay? So in Victorville, we have 568 active listings right now, as of now. I also want you to take a look of how many days on market is it taking for a seller to list their home and then get an offer on their property. So it's taking an average of 29 days to get a home in escrow. Okay, so that's the average here in the high desert. Now let's take a look and see what's the price per square foot of a home here in Victorville, California. So the price per square foot is $235 per square foot. Okay, now in the entire MLS, you're paying $521, okay, per square foot. That's a lot. Okay, so I just want to kind of give you this little market update so you can kind of take a look and see what's happening here in the high desert. Let's also take a look at what the monthly supply is of listings. Okay, so we have in Victorville, it's 2.4. So that means it's like 2.5 months of active listings that we have available here in the high desert. Okay, so definitely we are in a seller's market right now. Okay, what's the case? Why is that? Of course, yeah, there's high interest rates right now, but you're not gonna want to know this because we're still seeing multiple offers on properties. If it's priced correctly, the condition is good, and the seller is willing to work with the buyer and maybe helping with a little bit of closing costs, but not everybody is willing to do that. Okay, so yes, we are in a seller's market. So just take that into consideration when it's time for you to come in and see if you're ready and willing to step into this real estate market because it's kind of crazy right now. Okay, we're still seeing multiple offers, we're still seeing homes sell in today's market. Okay, so that's the market update. I just wanted to give you this quick little market update and just let you know that we're going to be basing all of our information in this video on the medium sales price of Victorville, California, here in the high desert, which is $420,000. So let's get into the video, guys. Hey guys, so let's take a deep dive. So how much money do you really need to buy a home here in Victorville, California? So are you like one of these people that think that you need to have 20% down for a home, or that you need 6 months in savings in order to buy a home? What's the right way? What's the wrong way, right? If you're like me, I didn't even have my down payment. I just went, talked to the lender, figured out what it was that they needed from me, got everything in order. It took me like a year or two, and all I had was $7,000 saved, and I threw myself in there and I went in and saw if I could buy a house. Thank God I was able to buy a house. But I know nowadays 7,000, that's nothing, right? But I always get this question. Do you really need 20% down in order to be a homeowner? And do I need 6 months in savings? And the answer is going to be, that would be a good plan. Okay. But in today's day and age, that's going to be very hard to accomplish for a lot of people. Okay. So that's why I'm here to tell you there's no right way and there's no wrong way of seeing if you can get ready to buy a home. Okay. That's why I wanted to bring you this video of how much money do you need to buy a home here in Victorville. Now let's get into it. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to be breaking down some information and letting you know exactly how much money you need to buy a home. Do you need 20% down? Do you need 6 months in savings? Let's get into it, guys. Now let's take a look. Do you really need 20% as a down payment to buy a home? Now, if you were to save 20% on a $420,000 home, which is a medium sales price here in Victorville, California, that's going to be $84,000. Now, how long is it going to take you to save $84,000? Are you ever going to become a homeowner? Okay. And then plus you need to save 6 months more. Okay. I'm just here to tell you, I'm going to break it down to you and let you know exactly what's the amount that you need when it comes to buying a home, guys. Okay. Like I mentioned, there's no right and there's no wrong way of figuring all of this information out. Okay. They're going to try to see we're going to be covering is what are the loans, what are your down payments going to be, what's your closing costs, and what other funds you're going to be needing, like a home appraisal, a home inspection, your homeowner's insurance, just all these other funds that you're going to need to come out of pocket. Okay, yes, that you pay for. Okay, as a home buyer. Okay, what's going to be your monthly payment? We're going to cover that too. And what's going to be your down payment. So I hope that all of this information is getting you closer to home ownership, okay? Because I'm trying to break it down in an easier way so that you know exactly how much money you're going to need to come up with if you're not this type of person that has 20% to put down and can save 6 months in a savings account, okay? So we're going to be going over how much money you need to buy a home, how much you will need to cover for your down payment and your closing costs. And we're going to be talking about a home that's $420,000, okay? Because that's the medium home sales price here in Victorville. Now let's talk about this, okay? Yes, there's going to be loans where you're going to be coming in with 0% down. I just want you to keep this in mind. If you do take advantage of these 0% down, you're going to have to keep in mind that you're going to be paying a higher interest rate. Never think that something's not going to cost you anything, okay? If you think you're going to come into a home and you're going to buy a home with 0% down and you're not going to be paying something to the lender or to anybody for getting you into that home for 0%. Trust me, you're going to be paying a higher interest rate. But what's the down payment that you're going to need is zero. Okay. So you're going to have to take into consideration if it's a good thing or a bad thing about taking advantage of these first time home buyer programs with 0% down, or you can get a grant for 0% down. Now, there's other loans that do offer 0% down, which is an USDA loan, but you're going to have to see where the property is located. That's for more of a rural living, but not everybody wants to live in a home or homestead. Okay, no, I know that's a new thing right now, but not everybody wants to be homesteading or farming or living away from the city completely. Okay, so you're going to have to take a look and see where you can use these USDA loans, and you can take advantage of the 0% down. And another way to get 0% down is that if you're a veteran, and you can take advantage of the VA loan, which is also 0% down. Okay. So those are a couple of loans and information for you to know for loans that you can get with 0% down. So now what's the typical down payment going to be? Now for an FHA loan, you're going to be looking at 3.5% down. Okay. So that's going to be your minimum payment. Imagine you're going to be able to buy a home with just 3.5% down. Okay. And let's say you have a little better credit. Okay. And you can take advantage of a conventional loan at 3% down. Okay. That's even less, right? But you are going to have a better credit score, and you are going to have other things to qualify for a conventional loan. Okay. The lender will let you know. But all you need is 3.5% down. Okay, so what's an FHA loan? An FHA loan is going to be one of the most common use loans. Okay, so Federal Housing Authority, FHA. Okay, so it's a part of HUD. So they created this FHA loan for people just like you that need a lower down payment, lower closing costs, and easy credit to qualify. Because you can get an FHA loan with a credit score of 620. Okay. You're going to have to check with the lender's going to give you more info on that, but that's why a lot of people use an FHA loan. Okay, let's keep going, guys. So what's your minimum amount that you're going to be needing for your down payment? So your minimum amount is going to be 3.5% down. Okay. So that's what you're going to have to come up with, because a lot of the people use an FHA loan. It's just easier to qualify for that type of loan, and you get qualified for a lot more, and your credit doesn't need to be perfect in order to use an FHA loan at 3.5% down. Okay, that's why it's one of the loans that it's a more common loan for people to use. Okay, so what's going to be, so an FHA loan at 3.5% down. So your down payment's going to be $14,700. That's what you're going to need out of pocket to buy a home that's $420,000. Okay, because that's the median sales price here in Victorville. Okay. Now, what's your mortgage insurance? Okay, so this is another thing you're going to have to keep in mind. If you are using an FHA loan and you are buying a home with 20% or less, you are going to be paying for mortgage insurance. So what's mortgage insurance? That's something that you get to pay as a home buyer. Okay, and this actually benefits the lender, not the home buyer. Okay, so this is an insurance. So just in case you default on your loan, the lender's going to get their money that they lend you. Okay, so that's what a PMI insurance is. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's say a conventional loan with 20% down. Yeah, you're not going to have to pay PMI insurance. So that's a great thing, but you're going to have to come in with $84,000. That's why a lot of people don't save up that amount or can't save up that amount to buy a home. Okay. So, yeah, it would be a great idea to have 20% down to buy your home, but sometimes you can't do it. Okay. So, this is how much you're going to have in savings. So, I calculated the mortgage, like how much you're going to be paying for the house. So, you're going to have another extra $21,600 in savings. So, let's say you save $84,000 plus 21,600. You're going to need in savings to be able to purchase a home. That's a lot of money. Okay, that's why it's not that convenient for people to actually save 20% down and then have 6 months in savings. Okay, just so you can get a better idea. Okay, let's talk about closing costs. So, how do we come up with closing costs? So, every every home buyer is going to have closing costs. Okay, so closing costs, you're going to calculate closing costs. They're going to be 2 to 3% of whatever the home that you're purchasing. That's going to be your closing costs. Okay, quick little closing cost checklist, just so that you can go over and you can see what what are the closing costs, because the lender is going to be charging you some fees. You're going to have to pay some stuff to the county to get recorded, title. I mean, there's just a lot of different fees when it comes to closing costs. And these are all things that you have to pay in order to get the home. Okay. So you can't get away with it not paying. Okay. Closing costs. Okay. You can get the seller to help you pay for closing costs, but not all the time. Okay. So, how do you calculate your down payment and your closing costs? So you're going to calculate the down payment, which is 3.5%, and then 2.5% for closing costs. That's going to equal 6%. Okay. And that's how we come up with the 6% for closing costs and a down payment. Okay. Just keep that in mind. So it doesn't matter what price home you're going to be buying, it's just going to give you a better estimate of your closing costs and down payment. Okay. So let's see your closing costs at a 2.5% for a house that's 420,000 is going to be $10,500. Okay, that's going to be your closing cost. Okay, so keep that number in mind. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, so there's going to be times that you as a home buyer can get closing costs from the seller. You can negotiate, or your agent can negotiate to get maybe 1% or a couple of $1,000s from the seller to help you with closing costs. A lot of sellers don't need to agree. They need to agree to this. Okay. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. Also, a lender can give you a lender credit, or a new home builder can give you like a concession or an incentive to buy a new home. So they'll pay for your closing costs, or you can get a grant, or you can use a first time home buyer program. Okay. So those are the ways that you can get your closing costs paid for, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to get it. Okay. So the let's talk about the 5 factors in a mortgage payment. Okay, so there's 5 things that you're going to need to consider when it comes to a mortgage payment. Okay, the first thing is going to be your principal. The second thing is going to be your interest. Third thing is your taxes. The fourth thing is your home insurance. Yes, you're going to be paying for home insurance. And the fifth thing is going to be your PMI insurance, your mortgage insurance. And then the sixth thing that you need to know is that all of this money is going to go into an escrow account. Okay, that's how the lender is going to make sure that your taxes, your interest, your home insurance, everything gets paid from that escrow account. Okay, it's just a better way, because when people used to pay for all of this on their own, they were just not paying they weren't paying it. Okay, so that's why now everything's in one payment and everything's in an escrow account. Okay, so what's your monthly payment? Okay, if you're buying a $420,000 home, Okay, your monthly payment's going to be about $3,591. Okay, that's at a 7% interest rate. Now, we all know maybe the interest rate can go higher. You can pay more taxes, you can pay more in home insurance, or you can pay more in PMI insurance. So there's going to be different factors for you to consider with this mortgage payment. Okay, but I just wanted to give you a little rough estimate so you can keep in mind how much your payment's going to be. Now, what's another thing that you're going to be having to pay out of pocket for? Okay, as a home buyer, okay, you're going to be paying for home inspections. You're going to be paying for a termite report if you want it, a roofing report if you want it, a septic report if you want it. So, and I put down a couple of how much it's going to cost you. This is just rounding it up, okay, because it can cost different prices. Okay, it all depends if you want somebody with more experience or if you want somebody that's just going to give you the cheapest price. Okay, so these are all the costs that you're going to have as a home buyer. Now, an appraisal report. You need to keep in mind your appraisal is going to be something that you're always going to pay for. Okay, and this is paid for by the buyer. Okay, now why do you pay an appraisal? An appraisal is done to protect you, the home buyer. Okay, because yeah, let's say you offered a seller a certain amount for their home, but then they go and do an appraisal on the house and it turns out that that's not what the house is worth. Okay, they actually feel that the home is worth less money. Okay, so that's why this is such an important piece of buying a home. Okay, an appraisal is something that you always want to get done. Always pay to get an appraisal done on a property. Even if you are paying cash, always pay for an appraisal report. That way you know exactly if you're paying the right amount and make sure that you're not overpaying for a property. Okay, so an appraisal report is very important. Now, let's say if you did an appraisal and now you come to find out that the home you're buying is not um, worth what you offered the seller. Okay, there's three things that the seller can do. Can either lower the price to the appraised value, okay, or they can cancel escrow, or you can offer the seller more money out of pocket. But why would you want to do that, right? But I know that's something that's happening, but I'm pretty sure that that's something that you're not going to want to do is pay out of pocket for something that's not worth the value. Okay. So an appraisal is always important to get, and a lender is going to require to do an appraisal if you are asking for a loan. So you're always going to have to pay for an appraisal. They range about 450 to 550. Okay. They're all different. So the way that you can calculate, like what are going to be your expenses? Okay, so you can definitely calculate your home inspection and your appraisal report. It's going to be two of the things that you're going to have to pay for out of pocket. Okay, so and now if you include the termite, the septic, you're going to be looking at about $1,850, or it's going to cost you about $1,000. So if you want to round up to $2,000 for this, you could, but if you want to keep it conservative, you can do $1,000. Okay, but I just wanted to kind of show you what your extra out of pocket expenses are going to be. So you're going to have your down payment, your closing costs, and then you're going to have an appraisal and an inspection fee, and all of your inspections that you need to do with the property. Okay, so you see how it's starting to stack up. Okay. So let's say you're going to purchase a home. You're going to purchase a $420,000 home with an FHA loan. Okay, so your down payment is going to be 3.5% down, which is 14,700. Your closing cost is going to be 2.5% down, which is 10,500. Your home inspection and your appraisal is going to be about $1,000. So this is what you're looking to spend out of pocket. Looking to spend out of pocket $26,200. Okay, so that's going to be the money that you're going to need to buy a home here in Victorville, and the medium sales price is $420,000. You're going to need $26,200 to save for your closing costs, your down payment, your appraisal, and your home inspection. Okay, so that's the money that you're going to need in order to buy a house in Victorville, California. Okay, you're going to need $26,200. Keep in mind that all of this information that I'm giving you, it's all going to vary, okay? Because it's going to depend on your credit, your debt to income ratio, your taxes, the home insurance, your PMI insurance. It's just going to vary, okay? So you need to keep in mind that this is just a rough estimate of the numbers. I also wanted to provide you this, okay? So you can kind of play around and see what your monthly payment is going to be. So you can be more informed. Okay, I wanted to provide you this little valuable piece here just so you can see what the different interest rates with taxes, with home insurance, with PMI insurance, how much your payment's going to be. Okay, so just a little guide for you. Okay, so you can be better informed, and that way you actually know what to expect. Why don't you go ahead and contact us if you need any more information, okay, about buying a home here in Victorville, okay? My contact information is down below. Go ahead and email me or text me, okay? And if you need me to send you our mortgage calculator, if you need me to send you our app, or if you need to be set up in a custom home search, we can go ahead and do that as well. Just send me an email and I'll go ahead and I could set you up right away. So you can see all the houses that are actually selling here in Victorville, California. So we basically covered how much money you're going to need to buy a home here in Victorville, California. So with the medium sales price being $420,000, you're going to need $26,200 in order to buy a home here in Victorville, California. Now with the medium sales price at $420,000, that's still really affordable for a lot of people. That's why a lot of people are making their move here to Victorville, California. So I hope you enjoyed all of this information and I was able to give you some type of value. Okay, because that's why I'm here. I want to guide you. I want to help you. I want to give you all the information that you need so you can make a better decision when it comes to home ownership. Okay, like always, Angélica Bonilla here with Excellence Real Estate here in the HD. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.